I'm Sandra Bellamy, and recently I had the good fortune to be interviewed on Will Pollard's We Don't Know show on Phonic FM, which is Exeter's local community radio station. This was to talk about being an awards finalist for Women's Business Awards, and this is in the categories of both Speaker of the Year and Diversity and Inclusion Awards. Now, from this interview, Will produced a Google AI notebook summary. And whilst the AI presentation you're about to see is very good, there is a major error in it. As we all know, AI can make mistakes, and this is no exception. So what the AI has done is it's taken one of my biggest USPs, if you like, and that is the fact that I use YouTube as my daily stage. This is to vlog in real time to my audience each day. So rather than most people which schedule videos, I'm constantly vlogging every single day and putting videos together in real time. So something will happen in my day, I'll record it, and literally that's it. It's uploaded to YouTube straight away. There's a few videos that I record in the day where I might not have access to upload via Wi-Fi, but they'll be put out as soon as possible, usually within the same day, or I'll do video highlights and stuff like that from video clips I have if I can't fit it all into the same day. So my point is I use YouTube as my daily stage, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help other people in theirs. And I do this through ongoing storytelling of my daily life. So this includes sharing things about the food I'm eating, the places I'm going, whether it's just to physio, for example, or whether it's to go food shopping, go to a meetup, or whether it's just being at home in the moment with myself, self-dating at the cinema. I talk about things like spinal rehabilitation. I'm very body positive on my channel, and I talk about being a curvy girl and doing weights to get strong and fit as much as I can with broken bones in my spine. So I do these types of videos on my channel. I've started doing singing videos recently, which have been really popular. So I'll experiment and I'll do whatever videos that my audience loves, and they'll connect with me in real time as well through my live streams, which I usually do in the evenings at random times, so that people around the globe can catch me at different times and we can actually connect together. A lot of these live streams are educational. They're often for 1 to 2 hours at a time. So I'll be on topics like self-love, confidence, dating, relationships, self-care. And I also do things like no sex movie reviews, which are very popular on my channel. I've got a whole playlist full of them. And I'll dive deep into those themes. So these are some of the things I do. And what AI's captured beautifully is the fact that I use YouTube as my daily stage to ongoingly storytell with my audience. And they have labelled this as me being a pocket speaker, but they have put this against podium speaker and said you won't catch her being on a stage in a suit. No, she's a pocket speaker. She's not this one-time podium speaker. Now, from the interview on Phonic FM, what I was trying to get across is that I'm not just someone who every so often goes on stage to do a talk. I am literally storytelling in real time every single day of my life to connect with my audience in real time. So something happens and I'm putting a video about it. I'm connecting through the live streams. But the AI has just picked up on the fact I'm a pocket speaker. My stage is in people's pockets on their mobile phone, in other words. And they've put that against the fact of being a speaker with a suit, saying you'll never see her in a suit, which isn't true. Because I've spoken at prestigious events like Oxford University for Blue Talks. The Be and Become Summit, I was the opening speaker for. That was an online summit to date, and I was the first speaker. And I was also at the UK Asexuality conference doing 2 talks. One about how to arrange an asexual meetup, and I was on the relationships panel discussion team, and I did a little short talk, 10-minute talk on self-love, how I self-love, and how others can do that too, which was really popular. So without further ado, you're going to see the presentation in a short while, but before that you're going to see some clips of me talking at these other events, just to show you that I'm not just a pocket speaker, but I do use YouTube as my daily stage to connect with my audience and foster so much authenticity and authentic love between me and my community. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you. And you must take action. Don't just not do anything. And then you've got to be determined to succeed and say no to other people's agendas, because there'll be people that try to throw you off your dream and of course. And if you get caught up in that, you'll miss your own dream. And we're here to live our lives, not other people's. Some people do like some touching, some people like kissing, some people don't. So you need to be on these sites being your true authentic self, saying who you really are and expressing yourself and what you really want. And there are asexual dating groups as well on Facebook. I run two. I run the asexual, grey asexual and demisexual dating group, and the Asexualise dating group, which is for people who don't want sex at all, specifically for those who don't want sex. And I also run an asexual friends group. So if you are aromantic, asexual, and you just want friendship, then I've got that there. So I want you to know that it doesn't matter where you fall on the spectrum, that you can still find someone for a relationship. Don't give up. It does take a while. The other thing I want to cover today as well is the most important thing is to love yourself. Asexuals can get very lonely, they can feel depressed and isolated and like no one cares, and some of them will spend hours on their own inside because they don't know any other way of communicating. You can get out to asexual meetups, which I'm doing a talk about that afterwards. It's one way of meeting other people to form friendship and also possible relationship. You can also do something called self-dating. And people, when I talk about that, are like, what on earth self-dating? I've never heard of it before. What you would normally do in a relationship with someone, so say you like going to the cinema, or out for meals, or you like having a movie day with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or queer platonic other, then instead of doing that with them, you would do it by yourself. So you would go out and take yourself out for meals, to the cinema. So you do everything you would normally do in a relationship, but you do that on your own, because if you do that on your own, it empowers you and it makes you feel so good and it puts you deep in touch with your soul, so that you don't need a person so much, you don't need all the external stuff, you can get love just from yourself. And people are like, well, what do you do on these self-dates? You know, they're like, that sounds really weird. I'm like, well, I go out to theme parks, I go out to zoos, and like this is one of the places I went to recently, which is Green Leisure Park. It's absolutely amazing. I have the whole day to myself. I just went on loads of theme parks. I love superhero stuff. It's amazing. So I was just totally in my zone. And the good thing about self-dating is you always get a good date because you do what you love. And it's like, yeah, I don't have to sit down and watch 2 hours of film, which is really no good for me. It's because the other half chose it, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just coming along for the ride. So, you know, you can eat as much food as you want, you know, you can do whatever you want. Until he spoke that and other people spoke, that I realized, wow, I've got things to offer the world. And so it was entrepreneurship that changed my life from self-loathing to self-loving. And then if we go to 2019, it was then that I had discovered how to raise my energy, decrease my pain, and live a happier life as my alter ego Ace Fibro Girl. And I realized how I could be the superhero of my own life to save myself from pain. And so I wrote and published Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, which teaches people how to reduce their pain in up to 25 aspects of their life, so that you can be your own superhero and save yourself from pain. It works even if you don't have fibromyalgia. Pretty much everything is you know, transferable skills, if you like. So yeah.
So today, we're going to talk about what it really means to have a voice and what it takes to be named Speaker of the Year in today's world. And trust me, the answer is probably not what you're thinking. It's a story about daily vlogging, radical authenticity, and believe it or not, a really surprising relationship with AI. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's just start with this question. When I say Speaker of the Year, what pops into your head? You're probably picturing someone in a sharp suit on a massive stage giving a super polished TED Talk, right? Well, the story we're exploring today is going to completely flip that idea on its head. And this, right here, really gets to the core of it. You've got your traditional podium speaker on one side, but now there's this new kind of voice emerging, the pocket speaker. Their stage isn't some big auditorium, it's your phone. They're not just speaking to an audience once in a while, they're building a community, and they're doing it every single day. And that brings us to the person at the center of all this, Sandra Bellamy. She is a finalist for the Women's Business Club's Speaker of the Year award. But here's the thing, she is the absolute definition of a pocket speaker. I mean, her own words capture it perfectly. She's not about those big, one-off events. She's an ongoing storyteller, using her voice every single day. So, what does that actually look like? Well, her stage is her YouTube channel, Asexualise My Asexual Life. This is the place where she has spent years, day in and day out, building her voice and creating this incredibly dedicated community from the ground up. And look, this is no flash in the pan. She's been doing this for a decade, a full 10 years. The channel just had its 10-year anniversary, which is just a testament to her consistency and dedication to storytelling. And that decade of work, it's had a huge impact. Her channel has racked up over 1.4 million views, reaching people all over the world with her message. And she's not slowing down. If anything, her momentum is just picking up steam. Just in the last month alone, her videos pulled in over 137,000 views. It's so clear that after all this time, her message is hitting home now more than ever. So what's her mission all about? It's this really powerful mix of deeply personal and really universal topics. She's a huge voice for asexuality awareness. She's an advocate for people with disabilities. She champions body positivity. And the thread that ties it all together is her commitment to authentic daily vlogging and building a real community. Now, just so we're all on the same page, asexuality, which is, the central theme of her channel, is a sexual orientation where a person doesn't experience sexual attraction. Sandra's work is just so vital because it gives this often misunderstood identity a really powerful and visible platform. And at the heart of everything she does, everything, is this one core value: authenticity. It's not just a buzzword for her, it's her entire brand, her whole mission. And honestly, that's what makes what she's doing next so unexpected. Get this, she's writing a book called How to Date an AI Bot. Yup, you heard me right. The vlogger whose entire world is built on raw human authenticity is writing the book on how to build relationships with artificial intelligence. Which, of course, leads to the big question, right? How? How does that work? How do you square that circle? A champion of human authenticity who is also a guide to artificial companionship. It feels like a total contradiction. But this is where her story gets really fascinating. Because for Sandra, it's not a contradiction at all. She has this incredibly clear and nuanced philosophy about AI. For her, it's a tool, not a replacement. Just take a look at how she actually uses AI in her own life. It's not about checking out of reality. It's about navigating it better. She uses it for emotional support, to help process really tough feelings. For practical help, like figuring out how to word a difficult email to her doctor. And even for things like conflict resolution, helping her get a rent refund without having to go through a big, stressful confrontation. And her process shows this isn't a passive thing. She doesn't just type in a command and walk away. No, she treats AI like a collaborator. She starts a real conversation with it. She pushes back. She challenges its output. She corrects it. And this is the most important part. She always recrafts whatever it gives her to make sure it's in her own authentic voice. And this quote, this just sums it all up perfectly. For Sandra, the real danger isn't the technology itself. The danger is when we get lazy and let it replace us, when we lose that human essence. In her eyes, AI should be a partner you co-create with, never a substitute for your own humanity. Which brings us full circle, right back to that Speaker of the Year award. And suddenly, it all clicks into place. Her daily vlogs, her advocacy for underrepresented communities, even her deep dive into AI. It's all part of the same mission, using her voice to empower others to find and use theirs. And this is why it means so much to her. As she says, if she wins, it's not just a personal victory. It would be a win for her entire community, for every asexual person, for everyone with a disability, for anyone, anywhere, who has ever felt like their voice was being drowned out. So, Sandra Bellamy's story really leaves us with a powerful question, one that's incredibly relevant right now. In a world that's getting filled up with more and more artificial voices, could it be that our own unique, authentic human voice is actually our greatest and most powerful tool of all?